got a special song I'd like to dedicate to my mom, because I grew up playing hockey, and my mom would drive me to the arena, and she'd tie my skates, and she was always cold down there in the West Kootenays. I remember we used to play in the Slocan Valley. We used to play in New Denver. It's a little bit smaller than Old Denver. But I remember there was holes in the roof of the arena at New Denver, and instead of fixing the holes, they would just put buckets and pails out on the ice, catch the drips coming through the roof. And the kids from New Denver weren't very good hockey players. Hope there's no one from New Denver here this evening. They weren't very good hockey players, but that was a tough team to play because they knew where the buckets were. That's a home ice advantage for sure. When I was young, I do recall, I'd go to school in the early fall. But on the days where there was no school, I learned to play by a different rule. Get out of bed, you sleepyhead, my hockey mom would say. Grab your skates and don't be late, there's a hockey game today. My old dad was feeling bad because he couldn't come. He had to go to work, and so I took my orders from my hockey mom. And then we drove to the rink in town, and I hit that ice by falling down. And then I'd score for the other team. You could hear my mom stand up and scream. Get off that ice, I told you twice to skate the other way. And every year she bent my ear until I learned to play. When my stick got pretty quick and puck to me would come, each time I'd score I knew for sure where the loudest cheer was from my hockey mom. A stranger came from far away, and he took my name, and very soon for the NHL I came to play. Mom came to yell, get on that puck and stir things up, show some winning pride. And every time she'd say that line, I'd shoot that puck inside. And here's my dad, oh Mr. Glad, he knew this day would come. We're all lined up for the Stanley Cup, and the tears are rolling from my hockey mom. My hockey mom, she's number one. My hockey mom. Hockey mom, she is the bomb, my hockey mom. All right, the hockey song, of course, that's our national anthem, the unofficial one. That's written by my friend Stompin' Tom Connors. I'll tell you something that happened to me. I was singing these Canadian songs. I was traveling around. We were playing the hotel saloons, and then we were playing a show at Oak River, Manitoba, center of the universe, sort of. we actually had a tough time finding Oak River, Manitoba. We kept kind of missing it, but you know, it's prairies, so you miss your turn, wait a mile, take the next turn kind of thing. Kept circling around. Finally we found Oak River, Oak River Hotel, Oak River Town site, same thing. But they were happy to have us. They liked our style of entertainment. First band in 7 years to find the hotel. And but it was when we were playing the Oak River Hotel. This is a true story. I got a call on the bar telephone. The bartender said in the middle of the concert, he said, "Tim, telephone for you." I thought, oh man, who's calling us here? This has got to be the last place we called. It's got to be the last place we played, calling about Riley's bar tab or something. But you know what? It was Stompin' Tom Connors on the telephone. He called us up at the Oak River Hotel. He said, "Tim, I've been watching you. I like the songs you're writing about Canada." He said, "I'm going on tour. I want you to come out and open the show." So that was the best phone call I've had in my life. And as it turned out, I got a special place in history because I was the last guy to tour as the opening act, coast to coast with Stompin' Tom Connors. I drank Moosehead beer in every Canadian province. I even ended up being a pallbearer at the old man's funeral. And I tell you, speaking about Canadiana and Canadian moments, I fronted the band for the Celebration of Life, which was at the big arena in Peterborough. But at the funeral, it was open casket, so Stompin' Tom was laid out in the casket. And you know, he had his cowboy hat on. I'm not sure how they did that. They might have cut the back of his cowboy hat off. They didn't, but they might have done it. And but this was the only license. See, Stompin' Tom liked to drink Moosehead beer. That was his thing. St. John, New Brunswick, there, Moosehead breweries. So everybody at this funeral had a Moosehead beer in a bottle, and a green bottle. So there I was, front row, Stompin' Tom laid out in the casket. To the right of me was Ken Dryden with his bottle of Moosehead beer. He just passed away too, the great Ken Dryden. And on the left of me was the Governor General, Adrienne Clarkson, with her bottle of Moosehead beer. And I thought, this might be the most Canadian moment that I've ever had. But then I remembered the time I played Tillsonburg, Ontario with Stompin' Tom. And then I thought, that might have been the most Canadian moment ever had. So we played the Canadian Auto Workers Hall, which is like this 100-year-old hall. And they sold more beer than had ever been sold in the history of the hall before we even went on stage. And Tom had written this song about picking tobacco in southwestern Ontario. Lots of people don't know that there's places in Canada where you can pick tobacco, but there are. And I can actually say I know a guy that made $1 million picking tobacco down there. And that's Stompin' Tom. He really only lasted just long enough for his back to start hurting. And then he wrote a song and sold 1 million records on it. But the song that Tom wrote was about Dalhousie, Ontario, actually. That's Canada's tobacco capital, is Dalhousie. But when Tom wrote the song, he found Dalhousie didn't work very well in the chorus of the song. But the next town down the road, Tillsonburg, that worked good in the chorus of the song. And so Tillsonburg has gone down in history. Dalhousie's never forgiven him. But it's kind of a sing-along song. It's Canadian classic, so it's pretty simple. Every time I say Tillsonburg, you say Tillsonburg. Well, way down southern Ontario, never had a nickel or a dime to show. A fella beat up in an automobile, said you wanna work in the tobacco fields of Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. That's pretty good. He said I only gave you $7 a day, but if you're any good, you get a raise in pay. Your bed's already on a bunkhouse floor. If it gets a little chilly, you can close the door. Tillsonburg, 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 Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. We landed in a field that was long and wide. The one old horse and 5 more guys. I asked him where to find a cigarette trace, but he said, bend over, I was ready to leave. Tillsonburg, 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 Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. tobacco plants of Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. With a broken back bending over there, I was wet right through to the underwear, and it was stuck to my skin like glue from the nicotine tar and the morning dew of Tillsonburg. Yeah, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. Now the nearest river was 2 miles from the place they were waiting for a boat to come. Said talk about making the kill, and I was down the highway and over the hill. Tillsonburg. Yeah, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. Well, there's one thing you can always bet: if I never smoke another cigarette, I might get taken in a lot of deals. I won't go working the tobacco fields of Tillsonburg. Yeah, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. My back still aches when I hear that word. My back still aches when I hear that word. All right, there it is for my friend Stompin' Tom Connors. I liked his music. I was hoping I'd get to meet him one day and shake his hand, but there it is. That's how it turns out if you write logging songs. I guess. All right, but we don't even have that much tobacco on the Canadian prairies. And I'll sing you a tune about a sweet little fruit called a Saskatoon. Plump and purple, it's a fine little berry, grows wild on the Canadian prairie. Profusely born on a tough little shrub, it's a favorite fruit of the Audubon Club, who flock to the fields and provincial parks, all of the warblers and the meadow larks that perch in the thickets on feathery tushes, eating them berries right off of the bushes. Well, I was out hiking in the country air when I had an adventure I'd like to share. I was down in a coulee on a hot afternoon, taking a bucket full of Saskatoons. When out of the glare of the sun on high, I felt the swoop and heard the cry of a big old hawk with a tail so red, telling the skin of the top of my head. Scared the living daylights out of me. It's a dive bomb and kamikaze bird. Well, I hit the dirt and I was flat on my back, watching him circle for the next attack, and I gathered my wits in a big old stick, the dear old red to repeat that trick. Sure enough, he went into a dive. I lost my nerve and a man alive, slipped on a stone as he closed for the kill, and went head over bucket down the side of that hill. Put him in a pie, put him in a jam, put him in a sauce, get your holiday ham. Eat them fresh right out of your hands, nothing like Saskatoon. Make a little tart, make a little wine, get a little hack around supper time. Pull off the road with the U-pick sign. There's nothing like Saskatoon. There's nothing like Saskatoon. Well, Saskatoon picking is a labor of love, but keep your eye on the sky above. Clouds drift and robins sing, danger soars on silent wings. High above the summertime prairie garden, that humble Saskatoon there. Well, the truth about that hawk beat cold against the reason he acted so bold. He was a she just doing her best to warn me away from her young one's nest. Well, I like berries and I like birds, I like melodies and I like words, and I hope someday when So there's you know what? We've been at this for a while, traveling back and forth across the country. So we've got some. You know what? We don't just go east to west. We go north as well. You know, we've been as far north as you can go in this country. So I better do you something from the north country here. We've been all the way up to Tuktoyaktuk. Yeah, you know what? We played like 19 concerts in Yukon and Northwest Territories. And you know what's impressive about that? We found 19 places to play. Look at the map of the Yukon, and I think it's a misprint. There's no towns on it. But we went all the way up to Tuktoyaktuk, and I realized that's the Beaufort Sea. And there's not a lot of Canadian entertainers that make it up there. And I realized that because this old Inuit guy and his wife came up to me in Tuktoyaktuk, and the old guy said, "Can we shake your hand?" And I said, "Yeah, for sure." And the old guy, he said, "All my life I've seen cowboys on TV, but I never thought I'd see one in Tuktoyaktuk." All right, here's my song about chainsaws and sled dogs and the lonesome lure of the north. This is Huskies and Husqvarna. There's a caribou wind blowing from the north. The Peace River springs from its source. A bushpack flies a course for the bull kings. The raven cries and the loon calls. Indian summer in the early fall. Black bear rug hanging on a catwalk. Trap line set in the cordwood cataracts. And the smokehouse all filled up. Fresh game on the backs of the hunters' truck. Where huskies and Husqvarna are the tools of the trade. With the Kodiaks and the cougar cats sticking out of plane. The magnetic needle guides the way to the barrens and the Arctic strips. Chainsaws and sled dogs, they won't let you down. 1,000 miles north of 100-mile house. Stories of old, gravel in the riverbed headed with gold. Wolverine tracks in the silence of the snow. Hear the lead dogs beneath the northern lights. The muskeg roads are Bridgevites. The glaciers creeping closer all the time. There's a moose in the timber flailing old. He's growing weak. The wolves are close. They leave behind nothing but his mind. Where huskies and Husqvarnas are the tools of the trade. With the Kodiaks and the cougar cats sticking out of plane. The magnetic needle guides the way to the barrens and the Arctic straits. Chainsaws and sled dogs, let you down. 1,000 miles north of 100-mile house. And found the seeping sands at Norman Wells. In the dark of the night on the haul road, there's shining eyes and dark shadows. If you remain chainsaws and sled dogs won't let you down. 1,000 miles north of 100-mile house. All right, North Country. Okay, I guess poetry time. Here's what we played on the very marge of Lake Lethbridge. You know what this is all about. There was a Scotsman, the name of Robert Service, chronicled a lot of what happened during the Klondike Gold Rush, and some of his poems have become very famous. Kind of pieces of vignettes of Canadiana, like Dangerous Dan McGrew or The Cremation of Sam McGee. So this is our version of The Cremation of Sam McGee. I learned this off a Hank Snow album called Spell of the Yukon that I bought at a garage sale. Garage sale music. Those old northern lights, they had seen the fairest sight, but the fiercest sight that they had ever seen. It was on the moonlit marge of that old Lake Lethbridge, on the night that I cremated Sam McGee. And my pal Sam McGee was from old Tennessee, in the land where the cotton blooms and blows. But why Sam left his home in the deep, deep south to roam, round the pole way up north, God only knows. In the long search for gold, he was always so cold. He longed to begin to roam the southern plain. I would listen to him rave, how he fared an icy grave. If I die, he said, cremate my last remains. Well, pal's last need is a thing we have to heed, so I promised and I swore I would not fail. And again we started on at the first streaks of dawn, but God, he was looking ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved away all day by the warmth of his home in Tennessee. And for the night that fall, Adam promised to recall, for a corpse was all was left of Sam McGee. Of 20 feet of frozen ice, abandoned and left there to decay. Some planks I quickly tore from its old cabin floor, gathered up the chunks of scattered coal. With the blazing furnace red, it seemed that old McGee was dead, so I shoved him in that old cremation hole. Well, there's Sam, big buddy Sam, looking mighty cool and calm, in the heart of those furnace flames are on. And he wore a great big smile, you could almost see a mile. She chuckled, hurry up and close the door. He's a fine place in here, but I do greatly fear you nail it in that awful cold and storm. For since I left Plum Tree down in good old Tennessee, it's the first time that I've been really warm. Northern lights, they have seen queerest sights, but the queerest sight that they did ever see, it was on the moonlit marge of that old Lake Lethbridge, on the night that I cremated Sam McGee. All right, I had a request here for a sad song, and we try not to do very many sad songs. We're doing our best to present an uplifting Canadiana travel log here, but I'm sure some of you thought there was going to be country western music, at the Army and Navy and Air Force Center tonight. So you brought along your handkerchiefs and everything, thinking we'd sing some real tearjerkers. And we don't really do sad songs, but if you came here to feel miserable, we don't want you going home disappointed. This is the saddest song we got. It's a broken-hearted love song, and to make it all just a little bit worse, it's set in Fort McMurray. All I do all day is think about you and watch young lovers strolling in the park. Sometimes I feel that you're right here beside me. Would you believe I've got a broken heart? So I think I'll catch a plane to Fort McMurray. Yeah, I can't take this, you and I apart. I never thought that I'd ever leave the island. Only you can mend my broken heart. And I think about you, staring at your pictures as I lie here all alone in the dark. Since you left, nothing seems to matter. No doubt about it, all I've got is this empty, broken heart. Catch a plane to Fort McMurray. Yeah, I can't take this, you and I apart. Yeah, I never thought that I'd ever leave dear old Cape Breton Island. Only you can mend my broken heart. Only you can mend my broken heart. All right, that's honky-tonk music. Catch a plane to Fort McMurray. So as you can imagine, we get a lot of requests for that song. Northern Alberta, not just Fort McMurray, but High Level, Grand Prairie, Rainbow Lake, where you hardly ever see a rainbow. And but something else we found in Northern Alberta, there's actually nobody from Alberta there at all. Everybody's out from Newfoundland and Maritimes. So I thought maybe I'd do all right if I wrote a song about all these East Coasters working at the oil patch. So one night at the oil can bar, the oil can's not there anymore. They tore it down and built condominiums, so this is a historic song. But one night at the oil can, I overheard this one guy from New Brunswick telling another East Coaster exactly what he was going to do as soon as he made $100,000. So I had a request for this song here. So this is the Ballad of $100,000. I'm going to dedicate this to our friends from the East Coast. Got to warn you though, most East Coasters to sing this song for, they're about $95,000 short. At the oil can with a couple of hands from the crew, talking all about the grand old rush and working the Alberta crew. And the stars out here don't sparkle like they do in the Maritime. As soon as I make 100 grand, that'd be enough for me. I don't want to spend another winter up north of Grand Prairie. I don't give a damn about oil and sand, and I don't want another dime. Tell everybody up north I went home to the Maritimes. He got on the plane to Moncton, we ain't seen him since. It's a brand new trailer, dropping weight on the button bits. And I'm still hearing Ford make money, but every now and then I curse the mud and I curse the cold, but mostly I curse him. I'll never forget the look on his face when he said with a big white grin, "So long to the oil patch, I'm never coming back again." As soon as I make 100 grand, that'd be enough for me. I don't want to spend another winter up north of Grand Prairie. I don't give a damn about oil and sand, and I don't want another dime. Tell everybody up north I've been home to the Maritimes. Tell everybody at the oil can that I told them all goodbye. Send my best away out west from the home in the Maritimes. All right, thank you. First time I sang that song in New Brunswick, I never had so many drinks sent to the stage in my whole life. Okay, coal mining song. Been a lot of coal mining songs written, and here's one that I wrote. This goes good at Minto, New Brunswick. Goes good at Cape Breton Island. Got hired to play in the Crow's Nest Pass, 100th anniversary Hillcrest mine disaster. And this song goes good in Drumheller, goes good in Estevan, Saskatchewan, Carmacks, Yukon. See the darkest days by the miner's light. Say a prayer for me when I'm down in the sand, down in a cold, cold mine. Head west, spraying the Hillcrest to see the crosses stand. He corridor down at the Union Hall. The look in his eyes, there's always the same. 50 years of coal miner there by his name. Coal mine, coal mine, coal mine, I cried. Seen an Arkansas by the miner's life. Say a prayer for me when I'm down in the same. Down in a coal, coal mine. Down in a coal mine. All right, just about done here. The 46th season of the Lethbridge Folk Club. Charlie was a bronc rider, hailed from Picture Butte, made his payroll and his bedroll behind the bucket chute. Grew up with the southwest wind blowing every day. He's been leaning to the west so long he's never stood up straight. He gets feeling restless every year about this time. He watches the fog circle in the sky. His Diamond City sweetheart keeps him holding on. His wire stretches tight and she knows he's almost gone. And he gets away as he rolls away in a big old cloud of dust, with a hamper heavy on the back of his old pickup truck. And that makes him smile, but he doesn't give a damn. Just likes his hand in the rigging and the rigging in his hand. She never heard a single word all summer he was gone. He got off the bus at Fort McLeod with a cast on his arm. Great-grandpa rode the red coat trail in the whoop-up whiskey trail. Non's been here all along. She wore her hair in braids. Sable brush and canvas remembered every stroke. The red man's wireless and the white man's buffalo. Charles Marion Russell, it's where he got his name. Like a painter of the West, he was captured by the chain. Still he hears his ancestors whisper in the wind, from the porcupines to the grassy lake and the old Milk River rig. And he gives away as he rolls away in a big old cloud of dust, with a camper heavy on the back of his old pickup truck. And never makes any money, but he doesn't give a damn. He just locks his hand in the rigging and the rigging in his hand. She never heard a single word all summer he was gone. He got off the bus at Fort McLeod with a cast on his arm. She never heard a single word all summer he was gone. He got off the bus at Fort McLeod with a cast on his arm. I gotta admit, the last couple of times we played Lethbridge, they weren't really they weren't public shows. We played for toll-struck construction. They called me up and they said, hey, you know what? We're like the oldest company in Lethbridge, and we're right down here on Old Man River, and we're having our company party, and these guys in their dump trucks, they're all listening to your gravel pit song. We want you to come and play. Okay, so we came and played, and that went really good. And then they said, we gotta get you back. So we came back, and that went really good. And they said, you gotta come back. Even our ladies coming from Prince Edward Island, Prince Edward Island, you gotta come back. Okay, so like, I hope we don't spend too much time at Tolstrup Construction. But I wrote this little song about a gravel pit. I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize it when I wrote it that every second person you meet in this country works at a gravel pit, just got fired at a gravel pit, is looking to get hired on at a gravel pit, just bought a gravel pit. But here it is. This is kind of our big song. This is the gravel pit song. And if you're wondering if we have any hit songs at all, we sure do. This is it. This is the gravel pit song. This song was #1 on the hit parade for 3 weeks in the lunchroom at the gravel pit on Taxi Island. Sun, mud. I didn't even start it right. I'll give you a slight refund. Every day in the morning when the sun comes up, I climb aboard my big dump truck. The man on the radio said real well, today's gonna be hotter than hell. With a big cloud of dust following behind, I'm grinding the gears out on the main line. Another load of gravel in another day. And I don't give a damn about what you say. One of these days I swear I'm gonna quit working at the gravel pit. Sun, mud in the rain, all of this dirt drives a man insane. Dust and dirt, gravel and sand. When I leave this place, I'll be a broken man. Grit in my hair and grit in my teeth, I taste it in my mouth, in the air that I breathe. Another load of gravel and another day. Give a damn about what you say. One of these days I swear I'm gonna quit working at the gravel pit. Someday I'll have a job in the city so fair, with a suit and a tie and some artificial hair. I'll have a gravel path up to my front door, counting my to the 46th season of the Lethbridge Folk Club. Our third visit here, not to Lethbridge, third visit to the Folk Club. Nice to be out of the gravel pit too. All right, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for having us. Hope you've enjoyed our Canadian country and Canada songs. You might have noticed by now that I like to write songs about Canada, and long ago when we got started, I kind of wanted to see if we could do this thing using only our own songs from Canada and using nothing from Nashville, Tennessee at all. And from big towns and little towns and the most remote places to Canada's biggest concert halls, people have always come out when we come to town and always bought tickets and have always supported us. And not the biggest stars yet, but we've had the best time ever doing this all across the country, and this really is the greatest country to write songs about. So thank you very much. Thanks for all your support over the years. Hard to imagine after all these years, once in a while someone still comes up to me and says, "Hey Tim, when are you going to move to Nashville, start writing American songs?" I'm not Garth Brooks, that's plain to see. Hell, I ain't ever been around Tennessee. And another Alan Jackson, I'm not. But this is something special that I've got. I'm a Canadian cowboy, singing my song. And if you feel it in your heart, join in and sing along. We'll sing about Alberta, we'll sing of Saskatoon. I'm a Canadian cowboy, howling at the moon. We're not from Wilcott. Well, I'll never be a big star, so they say. So I won't move on down to the USA. They say Nashville, that's the only way to win. But you gotta sound like an American when you sing. But I'm a Canadian cowboy, singing you my songs. And if you feel it in your heart, join in and sing along. We'll sing about Vancouver, we'll sing of Saskatoon. I'm a Canadian cowboy, howling at the moon. Well, I'll never get on the Grand Ole Opry show. Singing Pincher Creek at the rodeo. And it'll keep on singing, it'll keep on keeping on. Then I might get to be a star like Stompin' Tom. 'Cause I'm a Canadian cowboy, singing you my songs. And if you feel it in your heart, join in and sing along. We'll sing about Alberta, we'll sing of Saskatoon. I'm a Canadian cowboy, howling at the moon. That's how we do it at the Lethbridge Folk Club in Lethbridge, Alberta. hadn't noticed, we played for a very long time. In the Rocky Mountains of Alberta in 1903, from the Indian reservation came a withered old stony. He came to the pass of the old crow's nest in the rugged Rocky Mountains of the great Northwest. He came to warn the white men to leave their mining town, for the top of the Turtle Mountain, he said, was soon to come crashing down. He said that before another sun would ever come to show, 1,000,000 tons of rock would slide to the valley far below. And oh my God, how that mountain came down. And oh, how the mountain came down, down, down. The whole town of Frank was buried in the ground. Oh my God, how that mountain came down. Well, they laughed at the warning and they paid him no heed. For who could trust the ravings, they said, of a crazy old stony? That rock had been surveyed by the mining engineers, who said the mountain would be standing there for another 1,000 years. So nobody listened, and the old man, he left, and the miners were now descending on the midnight shift. The whole town was quiet, like nothing was afoul, but a dog was heard to whimper with the strangest kind of howl. And oh my God, how that mountain came down. And oh, how the mountain came down, down, down. The whole town of Frank was buried in the ground. Oh my God, how that mountain came down. Well, men were all working now in the coal down below, and the monster rock was moving ever slow, slow, slow. The stealthy mountain creeping sealed the mine like a tomb on the 29th of April, on that dark day of doom. Well, the sun had almost risen, with the miners in despair, when the top of the Turtle Mountain, it went rising up in the air, with a mighty beastly grumble, like all hell was at the door. The mighty rock had tumbled all across the valley floor. And oh my God, how that mountain came down. Oh, how the mountain came down, down, down. The whole town of Frank was buried in the ground. Oh my God, how that mountain came down. Everything was quiet now where life once used to be. No mine, no town, no people, not a shingle could be seen. Someone heard a wee baby from out of the rock, she cried. She became the sole survivor and they called her Frankie Slide. But no amount of excavation could save another soul the day that Turtle Mountain took its deadly human toll. Throughout the Rocky Mountains, friends, even to this very day, people talk about it and they shudder when they say, oh my God, how that mountain came down. Oh, how the mountain came down, down, down. The whole town of Frank was buried in the ground. Oh my God, how that mountain came down. Oh my God, how that mountain came down. All right, that's Canadian folk music. All right, boys, we're going to roll out of here on the Hurtin' Albert. This is a song I wrote with Cold Blood. Another Alberta cowboy singer. I'm sure you've seen him lots. This is about pulling your horse trailer through the western provinces. It's got a CB radio part. The guy in the cab of the truck is talking on the CB radio. So there's actually two recorded versions of this song. We recorded this song on Corb's Highland Steer album. and Corb sang all the verses, and I was the guest doing the CB radio. And then we recorded it again on my Huskies and Husqvarna's album, this time in reverse. This time Corb did the CB radio and I sang the verses, so it was a real Alberta roots music, head to head, you know. And then his album won Album of the Year at the Country Music Awards, and then it won a Juno Award, and it sold a gold record. And you know what, honestly, I didn't even realize I'd done such a great job on the CB radio. But here it is. See you next time. This is the Hurtin' Albertan. It's my CB radio squelch there. Breaker, this is Whiskey Jack rolling northbound through Montana. I got Dylan Butte, I'm out of passing my taillights. Then double nickels the whole way, looks like she's clear through the port of entry. The rodeo's over and it's back to the gravel pit first thing Monday morning. Julie diesel pulling hard and a horse trailer and tow. Montana sour sweetgrass and I'm heading home. Cattle pens and feedlots and a one-ounce saddle horn. Rock riders and team ropers, husky and taper corn. Roads get better every time I cross north of 49. Tip my hat and it's good to be back across the medicine line. Finish a run out to the left coast. Williams Lake, Falkland Stampede, Cloverdale Rodeo. Good weather up on the Coquihalla. Had my eyes peeled for Bambi the whole time in Amber Alley. Just past Revelstoke now, found the Rogers Pass. Hey, I think I just saw a Sasquatch. BC mountain roads, they finally flatten out. Hairpin turns and PST got hard up in the road. His hairy howling horses up across the great divide. Them wild chilcote and buckaroos, they sure know how to ride. The roads get better every time I cross the British Columbia line. Tip my hat and it's good to be back off the ticket horse line. With nothing more to lose. Too much oil money, never enough booze. East of the Rockies and west of the rest. Do my best to do my damnest. That's about all I guess. Saskatchewan, long gone Saskatchewan. I'm westbound with the prairie fire mines. They gonna pull over and rest them up. Go horizontal, put in the rhubarb. Hey, I definitely saw Richardson's ground squirrel. Yeah, the Saskatchewan is pretty. Yep, she's pretty flat. And I'm a prairie boy myself, so pretty